guys, it's Fee, and I am here for a TTC update. I owe you an update. So last I left you guys on my journey, I was about to start injections to build my lining up for this upcoming frozen embryo transfer. And that is done. That is done. Amazingly, this cycle went really well compared to the last time. And the nurses tell me that you can't relate one cycle to another. And clearly you cannot, because last time it took, I can't remember exactly how many days. I'd have to go back and look, but I want to say it was like, 16 or 18 days just to get my lining up to like maybe 9.5, which is the minimum that they will do a transfer. This time, and I'm looking at my calendar here so I can get this straight, our injection started on Saturday, September 27th. And my first lining check was Thursday, October 2nd. So that was 6 days, which is 3 shots because you take them every other day. And with just 3 shots, my lining was 8.4. 8.4 with just 3 shots this time. And you figure the 3rd shot was taken the night before my check, because my checks are always pretty early in the morning. So you figure that one probably didn't have enough time to completely take effect, I would assume. But 3 shots, 6 days, 8.4. It was like night and day. Complete night and day. So from there, we needed to get it up to 10, preferably. And when I went back in on Saturday, October 4th, one reading was at 9.5 and the second reading was at about 10.0. So I was kind of thinking that I was going to get a message later that day, because you always have to wait till the afternoon, that they were going to go with that and schedule the transfer. Pretty much when they say that everything is good to go and they like the measurement that they're getting, they schedule the transfer for 6 days out, because you have to start your progesterone shots. The estrogen shots from building the lining still continue, but you have to add in the progesterone shots, and they want the progesterone in your system for 6 days. The transfer is on the 6th day. So I was thinking, of course, I probably shouldn't have done this. I was thinking, oh my God, look at how perfect this is going to be. The transfer would then have landed on a Friday. It would have been attached to a weekend. It would have been great. But that's not how it worked out. That's not how it worked out. On the weekends, there's kind of a skeleton crew, so I don't always get a call on the weekends, but they send it through to my portal, which they did. And the portal said that they wanted to keep going. They wanted me to do another shot, even though I was at about 10.0. They wanted me to do another shot and come in on Monday, the 6th of October. And I did. So we took another shot, and on the 6th of October, I was at 10.8. 10.8. And at that point, the nurse was like, okay, they're going to go with this, so be prepared to start your shots tomorrow morning. The first progesterone shot is always in the morning, and then after that, they're at night, which is when I take my estrogen shots. So I was waiting for my call that afternoon, and no call. Normally they call around 3 o'clock. No call. I finally got a call at 4:45. At 4:45, and it wasn't even from my normal nurse. Normally it's the same nurse that does my ultrasounds. It's the same nurse that calls me at this stage. And this time, she didn't call me. It was my IVF coordinator nurse that called me. And she said, listen, we want you to do one more shot. I'm like, oh my God, really? At this point, I'm thinking, I know we want a nice cushy baby bed, but this is going to be a Tempur-Pedic bed by the time we're done, because I was responding really well. But she said we wanted another shot. The doctor wanted me to come back in on Wednesday morning, that's today, and he wanted to double check everything, make sure everything was okay, and then if they were going to go with it, they were going to do my morning progesterone shot right after the ultrasound. So they were going to do my shot this morning at the office for me so that I would be on track for a Monday transfer. Well, that's exactly what happens. I went in, they checked me again, and it was at 11 point something. I don't remember exactly what. 11 point something. It didn't grow nearly as much as it has in the last number of days, I should say. So I don't know if it kind of got to its limit. I don't know. But it's good. It's extra cushy, which is a good thing. And the transfer is scheduled for Monday, October 13th at 11:30 in the morning. And that is also when they're going to be doing my intralipids, but I will get to that in a minute. So, I kind of thought that maybe the doctor was just being extra paranoid because he kind of knows that we are at the point where we don't know if this is our last try. We don't know if we're going to keep trying. Hopefully we're not going to have to make that decision. It's kind of a really rough decision. I'm really torn. There's a lot of things that make me want to say keep going. There's not a lot of things that make me want to say enough is enough. I can't really make that decision right now, and hopefully I won't have to make that decision because hopefully this will work. But the doctor does know that. So it didn't surprise me to find out that, okay, he wants to do some extra checking, make sure the lining is extra cushy for these embryos, and make sure this works since this is our third try. And he's always been proactive, so I didn't really question it too much. But I did also find out today that a good chunk of the reason was probably because my clinic doesn't do frozen embryo transfers on the weekend. Because when they made that initial decision to make me keep going with the shots and not go with the count that was obtained on Saturday, the 4th, as soon as they did that, that meant that my transfer was immediately pushed another 2 days. So it would have been Friday, turned into a Sunday transfer. Now, they have done things on Sundays and Saturdays for me before, but never a transfer. So for whatever reason, they don't do transfers on the weekends. So they needed to get me to a Monday. So I'm sure that was a good chunk of the reason. But considering they easily could have went with that first measurement that would have given me a Friday transfer, and they didn't. They wanted more. I think part of the reason was also because he's just being extra careful. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Even if it's 50% of this reason, 50% of that reason. That's perfectly fine. So that's it. That's where we're at. The transfer is on Monday. Intralipids. The intralipids are being done that same day. Now, I wanted to make a couple of comments about that. There's a lot of people, there's more and more people getting intralipids. It's becoming more and more common. Some doctors are doing it just as a precaution, which I think is great. But a lot of what I'm seeing is some people get it 7 days in advance, some people get it 5 days in advance, some people get it week of, but in advance. And mine aren't in advance. Mine are the day of. So I kind of questioned it. I questioned it at first. But I didn't really go very far with questioning it. And I'm going to explain why. This is going to require me to actually say this doctor's name, which I haven't before, but I will now. Remember, I have two specialists now. I have my RE, and I have this reproductive immunologist. So the bottom line is the RE is supposed to get me pregnant, and the immunologist is supposed to keep me pregnant. So if I get a BFP, and I will get a BFP, we will get a BFP. For the most part, I get transferred to her because she's going to have to keep track of the natural killer cell levels and all of that. And you are kind of tracked a little closer when it comes to that. So her name, the secondary specialist, her name is Dr. Coulomb. She is based in Evanston, Illinois. She also has a location in Chicago, Illinois. Dr. Coulomb. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because when I started doing more research on her, I found that she's one of a couple of doctors that started the research on natural killer cell in the first place. Now, natural killer cell hasn't been around for that long. Medically, it's very young. I believe some of the original testing and research on it was done, I want to say 2006, 2007, but don't quote me on that. I'm not an encyclopedia, so I don't remember, but it was somewhere around there. And she was one of the doctors that kind of pioneered some of the research on it. She ran a test on a number of people, and at the time, she was always saying 7 days in advance with the intralipids. Well, when I questioned this, I talked to her nurses. I didn't talk to her directly. I talked to her nurses and I questioned it mainly because I just wanted to make sure that the nurses from my one specialist, my RE, didn't get like their wires crossed with the information that this doctor gave them. Now, they are part of the same group. They are part of Reproductive Medical Institute of Chicago, and they have numerous locations. So I know that they're part of the same group. It's not like it's two doctors that don't know each other that are talking to each other. My RE actually referred me to her and had previously told me that he had a partner that specialized in natural killer cell back during right before my second try, because I had questioned all of this right before my second try, and he didn't want to get into all of this right away. And once I had my second miscarriage, then he obviously wanted to get into all of this. So bottom line is, I called them because I wanted to make sure that they didn't get the wires crossed. That what was on my chart and being done by one office is what the other office really and truly wanted. And the answer is yes. So of course then I kind of questioned it. And what they told me was that Dr. Coulomb has changed her protocol, that she is doing it on day of. So I suppose I could have fought for a different protocol. But when I looked her up and found her name splattered all over the internet, I just figured I would trust it. I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing to do, but it's what I'm going with. It feels right in my gut, so I'm going to go with that. I am just going to trust it because she is a specialist in natural killer cells, so that's that. I will say it did kind of cross my mind, if she's testing out a new protocol, am I a guinea pig? Or is she kind of testing something out because my levels are so high? Remember, my natural killer cell levels are at 26.8. They're supposed to be at 10. 26.8 is like really high, really, really high. So that could just be my imagination getting the best of me. I'm sure it's probably none of that, and she has just changed her protocol for one reason or another. And again, because she is a specialist, because she's one of the ones that started natural killer cell research in the first place, I'm just going to trust it. And that's that. That's that. So that's about all I had to report. The transfer is on Monday. We are transferring in the last 3 Frosties we have. So right now we're at the point of praying that they make it out of the thaw. There's no guarantee in that. Remember that. There's no guarantee that when they thaw that they will survive. So we have had awesome luck with that in the last 2 tries. So hopefully we will have awesome luck again and all 3 of these little guys will make it out of the thaw. I have no idea what grade they are. I did not ask. I take the back. I did ask and they said that they could have the embryologist department call me, and I said, you know what, on second thought, don't. Because the grade can change when they thaw. It can go down, it can stay the same. I've seen instances on here where it's actually gone up, which is a great thing. So I didn't question it. In the past 2 tries, I've asked for what the grade was on the morning of the transfer, which essentially is what it is. That's what they're going to be when they put them in you. And I will probably do that again. So I will put what the grade is. On my next TTC update will probably be on transfer day when I am sitting on a couch and they're in me getting comfy. I will let you know what they said the grade is. I'm hoping that they're either the same as what they were last time or not very far off. I'm assuming that when you have numerous to work with, they probably use the best first. So since we're at the bottom of the barrel, one can assume. But I'm not going to put too much into that because there are plenty of people out here that had 1 left that was a poor quality, and it ended up being their take-home baby. So the bottom line is sometimes the grade just doesn't matter. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that either. We're just going to hope and pray that the 3 we have left survive the thaw, and that this works, and we get a BFP, and that's that. So I will talk to you guys about TTC related stuff on transfer day. At some point on Monday, I will put something up. Like I said, probably vlogging from the couch. I think I did that last time, so we'll just go with the pattern. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for following this journey. I appreciate all of you guys. It really helps when you're going down this path to know that you got people pulling for you. Talk to you later. Bye.